And everybody is on mute, I think, Jyoti?
Yes. Oh, I think people are still coming in.
A little focus. And these verses which we recite, we are giving our love and reverence to the book which is Bhagavad Gita, to the Rishi who wrote it, Rishi Vyas, and to Lord Krishna. And there are some names come over here, some warriors which were in that Mahabharata war, whether it was Arjun or Bhishma or Drona or Shalya or Ashwatthama. We see all those, and there's a reason for all those great warriors' names in these verses. Okay? But ultimately, we are just thanking God for giving us the opportunity to study this. So let's all recite together. Om Parthaye Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayan Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puran Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritvarshini Bhagavati Mashtadashadhyayani Amutvam Anusandhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavdveshini Namo te Vyas Vishal Buddhe Ful Arvind Ayat Patra Netar येन तव्या भारत तैल पूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीपः प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्र एकपानये ज्ञान मुद्राय कृष्णाय गीता अमृत दुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदना पार्थो वत्सा सुधीर भोगता वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंस चानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं भीष्म द्रोण तटा जयद्रथ जला गांधार नीलोत्पला शल्ये ग्रावती कृपेन वाहने कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थाम विकर्ण घोरमकरा दुर्योधन आवर्तने सोतीर्णा खलु पांडवै रन्नदी कैवर्तका केशवा पाराशरे वत्सरोजमलं गीता अर्थगंधोटकं नानाख्यानक केसरं हरि कथा संबोधन अबोधितं लोके सज्जन षटपदे रह रह पे पिए मानम मुदा भूयाद भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसी न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुम लंघ्यते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानंद माधवम् यं ब्रह्म वरुणेन्द्र रुद्र मरुतः स्तुन्वन्ते दिव्ये स्तवे वेदै सांग पद क्रम उपनिषदै गायन्ति यम सामगा ध्यानवस्थे तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यम योगिनो यस्य अन्तं न विदुषुर असुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः. So we are on chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga. Towards the end of the chapter, today we'll try to finish this chapter. And last verse we did was verse number 34. And predominantly in this chapter, Lord Krishna is answering Arjuna's question. Because Arjuna wanted to know different ways he can meditate on God. So Vibhuti means the powers, the different powerful manifestations of Lord. Okay? So Arjuna said, tell me a lot. And Lord Krishna is giving a lot of examples over here. So in number 34, where we ended, he said, I am devouring death and the prosperity of those who are to be prosperous. Among the feminine qualities, I am fame, prosperity, speech, memory, intelligence, firmness, and forgiveness. Okay, so that's where we ended our class. Today, let's start with the number 35. Okay. So a couple of people can be unmuted so that other people can also learn how to recite these verses. Okay, let's start with 35. Brihat Sam Tatha Sam Nam
Bruhat Sam Tatha Samanam
Gayatri Chand Sam Aham.
Gayatri
Gayatri
Chandasam
Chanda.
Aham.
Yeah. Just maybe one person, otherwise it just becomes too distracted. Okay, one person only. Masa Nam Marg Shirsha Aham.
Masanam Margashirsha Aham.
Ritu Nam Kusumakara.
Ritunam Kusumakara.
Brihat Sam. Those are like a Brihati meter in the Sam Ved. Those are called Brihat Sam. Remember there are 4 Vedas, and one of the Vedas is Sam Ved. So first Lord Krishna talked about among the Vedas, the Sam Ved. Now in the Sam Ved, he says, I am the Brihatri. Tatha means also Sam Nam, among Sam hymns. Gayatri, you're all familiar with Gayatri meter. Chand Sam, among the poetic meters. Aham I. Masa Nam, among months. Margashirsha. Margashirsh, those are the part of the November and December month. Aham is I, Ritu Nam, among seasons, Kusumakraha, the flowery season, the spring. Okay, the spring season which we are in right now. Among hymns also, I am the Brihat Samans. Among meters, Gayatri I am. Among months, I am the Marg Shirsh part of the year. And among seasons, I am the flowery spring. So again, the songs of the Samved are called the Samans. Okay. And there are quite a few different meters in the Samved. But the rich, the beautiful, the devotional songs are the Brihati, the Brihat Samans. They are complicated also, very difficult to sing also. So Lord Krishna says, I am those beautiful, poetic, devotional, difficult to sing. Ordinarily, these summons are sung at midnight. When there's no distraction, there's a total calmness in the atmosphere. The rishis, they sing at that time. And of all the meters, I am Gayatri. There are different varieties of Gayatris also. There's a Devi Gayatri, Rudra Gayatri, Brahm Gayatri, Brahmahans Gayatri. So they have in Gayatri meter itself, there are different kinds of melodious meters. Okay. So Lord Krishna said, the Gayatri is the most divine, extremely powerful. So see me in Gayatri meters. Normally, Gayatri meter has 3 lines. Each line is filled with 8 syllables. You will see that in the little book which we study, because you don't have the Vedas, but most of you have this little book, Ved Panchashadi, and we do recite this also in one of our classes. And there are several mantras with the Gayatri meter in it. And Gayatri meter is always 3 lines. Some people say, okay, all right, the Gayatri mantra, which is a very popular Gayatri mantra, that has 4 lines. But the first line is not part of the Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra starts after Om Bhurbhuva Swa. So it starts with the Tat Svitra Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodhyat. So 3 lines. Om Bhurbhuva Swa is added. It has been added to many other mantras also. So you should know that Gayatri is a meter composed in 3 lines and each fulfilled in 8 syllables. In Chandogya Upanishads also, there's a glorification of Gayatri. There's a passage which goes like this, that this Supreme, who is indicated in the Gayatri, is all-pervading, omniscient and eternal. He who understands Gayatri in this way attains a full and unending prosperity. There is another Upanishad, the Brihad Aranek Upanishad, and a substantial portion of that Upanishad describes with the typical language and the meditation of the cosmos, and the substratum of all that is Gayatri Mantra in that Upanishad. Manu also praised Gayatri. Manu said the most exalted creator milked out this Gayatri from 3 Vedas. He who relentlessly repeats it daily for 3 years attains the supreme Brahm, moves like air and becomes subtle bodied like Akash. That means detachment from the physicality of it. So that's why Lord Krishna says in this verse, I am. See me in Gayatri. Of the months, I am Margashirsh. Margashirsh, I told you, it is November and December. And Margashirsh is like the Indian names for all these months. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with it. It's like a Vishak, Jesht, Ashad, Shravan, Bhadra, Ashwin, Kartik, right? Margashirsh, Posh, Mag, Fagun, Chaitra. Those are the names. So why did he say that? Look at me in this. Because typically in India, before that, it's very hot. And this is the time when it has cooled down. Neither too hot, not too cold. Because in January, it becomes too cold. Just for a couple of months. So he says, just think that I am that. Then he says, of the seasons, I am the spring. Spring is called Rituraj, like a king of the seasons. Okay, it's called Basant also. So there's a colorful message which we see right now also, even in Chicago. A lot of yellows out there, a lot of pinks out there, a lot of purples out there. No matter where we look, we just see the color and the fragrance also. It just gives a thrill to all of us. Wherever we may turn, we see the birds outside, we see the animals. So flower valleys, even the whether it's a daffodil or a dandelion, we see just blooming outside. Almost looks like a meadows on the carpet of grass. So he says, the spring, I am. Now in the next verse, Lord Krishna says, I am not only in the good and the prosperous and the beautiful, you can recognize me among the lowest of the low also. That's why he says, Dhyutam chalyatam asmi,
Dhyutam chalyatam asmi,
tejaha tejasvi namaham,
tejaha tejasvinam aham,
jaya asmi vyavasaya,
jaya asmi vyavasaya,
asmi satvam satvatam aham.
asmi satvam satvatam aham.
Dhyutam, the gambling, chalyatam, of the fraudulent, the cheats. Asmi, I am. Tejaha, splendor. Tejasvi Naam of the splendid. And again, Aham is I. Jaya, victory. Asmi, I am. Vyavasaya, determination, like a firm resolve. Sattvam, the goodness. Sattvatam, of the good, like a virtuous. I am the gambling of the fraudulent. I am the splendor of the splendid. I am victory. I am determination of those who are determined. I am the goodness of the good. So Lord Krishna has mentioned in this verse that not only the virtue but also the vice as his opulence. So if the gambling is also Lord's glory, then is there no harm in it? And why is it forbidden? We see that the gambler possesses intellect and ability to cheat. And where is the energy coming from? That energy is definitely coming from the soul. But the mind is the one which is a cheater's mind. So if somebody decides to misuse these God-given gifts, then God is not responsible for the sinful deeds. But the energy which is flowing is definitely God's energy. It's just going through the medium of a cheater's mind. And why Lord Krishna used this example over here? Because for Arjun, it was the most striking example. His entire life had been a series of tragedies which he had to suffer because of his older brother's irresistible weakness to play the dice. No other example would have delivered the goods to Arjun as efficiently as this one. So God grants his power to the soul, and along with it, he gives the freedom of choice. If we choose to forget him, he gives us the power to forget. This is just like electric power can be used both to heat and cool. The choice, free choice, he has given it to us. So to a cheater also, he has given the choice. Okay. So splendor in the splendid I am. Splendor means something which is a shining. The quality of the object which shines. So the splendor in itself has no qualities. But because of that God's power in there, it is shining. Okay. So I am victory. I am effort. I am the goodness in the good. So these qualities, as we've been talking about, the experience lived in the presence of these qualities gives us the occasion to live the self. So these qualities, they connote a certain mental condition created by the very special type of thought vibrations. So he says, this is, look at me, connect with me through any one of these qualities. Then he gives us more examples in the next verse. Vrishni Naam Vasudeva Asmi.
Vrishni Nam Vasudeva Asmi.
Pandva Naam Dhananjaya.
Pandva Nam Dhananjaya.
Muni Naam Api Aham Vyasa.
Muni Nam Api Aham Vyasa.
Kavi Naam Ushna Kavi.
Kavi Nam Ushna Kavi.
Vrishni Naam, among the descendants of Vrishni. Vasudeva, that's a name for Lord Krishna also. Vasudeva. And for his father also. His father's name was Vasudeva. So Vasudev's son Vasudeva. Asmi, I am Pandvanam. Among the Pandavas, Dhananjay. Dhananjay is another name for Arjuna. Muni Nam. Among the Munis, Api is also Aham I Vyasa. Kavi Nam. Among the poets, Ushna Kavi. That's the name of a poet, Ushna. So among the Vrishnis, I am Vasudeva. Among the Pandavas, I am Dhananjaya. Among the Munis, I am Vyasa. And among the poets, I am Ushna Kavi. So let's look at the Vrishni. I am Vasudeva. Among the Yadavs, Yadav clan, there was an ancestor, Yadu, who had a son, Vrishni. Okay? And all the descendants of Vrishni together constitute the tribe called the Vrishnis. So they were all called Vrishnis. So Yadav, the Vrishnis, and in this tribe was born Vasudeva. Okay, he was a great grandson of Vrishni. And Vasudeva married Devaki. And Devaki was the sister of Mathura's king Kansa. He is also known as a tyrant Kansa. And to her was born Lord Krishna. So as the son of Vasudeva, the Lord Krishna is called. So as a son of Vasudeva, he is called Vasudeva. So he says, among the Vrishnis, I am Vasudeva. Of the Pandavas, I am Dhananjay. Direct meaning of Dhananjay is a winner of wealth. And it's considered as a title of Arjun. And why winner of wealth? Because Arjuna, being a great warrior, he just, before this time, before the Mahabharata also, he went into several wars, small and big. And that was kings were supposed to do, princes were supposed to do. He would go and conquer the land and bring that wealth back to his country, his place. So that's why he's called a winner of wealth. Of the saints, I am Vyasa. Vyas is a pen name. Pen name for a author who compiled the Vedas also, who wrote the Puranas also, who wrote the Mahabharata also. Okay, there could have been many authors, but their pen name was Vyas. That's why author of Mahabharata and subsequently author of Bhagavad Gita, which is part of Mahabharata, is also Vyas. But his real name, not a pen name, but the real name was Krishan Dvipayan. Okay. Vyas, the term Vyas means one who elaborates every point of discussion. That's called a Vyas. Elaborates. That also means who repeats. That's why a lot of time we think that there's a lot of repetition. But something so deep, something so subtle, repetition is needed. Again and again, we need to say the same thing, go over it so that it becomes part of our personality. So Vyas really means that one who elaborates every point of discussion. So that's why Lord Krishna says, of all the munis, I am Vyasa. So that means all the people of reflection, the Lord is He who is behind the work that stands today under the title of Mahabharata, also under the title of Vedas, also under the title of Purans also. He says, I am that. And of the seers, I am Ushna. Nowhere do we find any mention of this Kavi in the available popular books today. But he must have been a great Kavi for Lord Krishna to mention his name in Bhagavad Gita. But as we know, the history says that a lot of literature from the great land was destroyed, burnt. Libraries were burnt. So maybe the Ushna poet's creation was burnt. That's why we don't see it anywhere. It must have been at the greatest. What a loss though. Lord Krishna used his name over here, brought his name in this, I am the Ushna Kavi. And we don't even have even a single couplet written by him available.
Hershji, this is Sonia.
Yes, Sonia.
I have a question, and I may be totally wrong or confused also.
Okay.
I thought I heard once that you said the Mahabharata was actually written by Ganeshji with his tusk, right? So उनका नाम कहीं नहीं आता है, and Rishi Vyasji was basically.
See, Rishi Vyasji was uttering it, speaking it. So Ganeshji was just a
writer.
Writing it.
तो उनका कभी mention नहीं होता है जब भी.
Mention हो गया ना कि उन्होंने लिखी थी.
अच्छा, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, he just only penned it down.
Penned it. Okay.
Penned it, but it was coming from the Vyasji's, Rishi Vyasji's mind. So it was his creation.
Yeah, sure, right.
So that's why. But Ganesh ji ka naam aata hai that he could write so fast and in that kind of a sitting. And that's why Ganesh ji, he is worshipped before any prayers also. Anything we do, any prayers we do, whose name comes first?
Ganesh ji,
whether it's a wedding or whether it's a housewarming, anything we do, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So naam to aata hai, but not in yeah. Ordinary people, they don't know that. That's true. You are right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And sometimes the gods, they really don't do things for their names, right? For them, it doesn't even matter. He did his part. He was asked to write, and you know the story between those two, how it went. He was asked to write, but he put a condition. He said, I will write only there's no break in you speaking it. So continuously you have to keep on speaking and keep on writing. So now 100,000 verses continuously speaking. So then Rishi Vyas, you know what he said? It's like a counter condition. He said, I agree, but you will not write unless you understand it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's also part of that story. Okay. So understand it. So that's why the scholars, they say, there are several places in Mahabharata where there are very complicated verses. So Ganeshji had to stop for quite some time to really understand it before he could pen it down. That gave Rishi Vyas some time to just take a break.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Otherwise, 100,000 verses just coming through him writing it. And you also know how he wrote it. To write something so long, so vast. Back then, people used to write. Sure, they made the ink out of the plants. And with a pen, they'll dip it and then write it. And the pen would have broken too with that many verses. What did he do? A little sacrifice. He broke one of his trunk. That's why one of that tusk is broken in Lord Shiva's pictures. Every statue you see, every picture you see, one of that tusk is broken. He used that. So symbolically, it gives us the message that sacrifice is needed to do something great. We all have that kind of a feeling that we should do something great. But when it comes to sacrificing, sometimes it could be our time. Sometimes it could be something we think it's ours, even though nothing is ours, but we have the ownership, feeling of something. We got to sacrifice in order to do something great. Bigger the sacrifice, the greater the work. Okay? So,
Thank you, and sorry
yeah.
to interrupt
No,
you.
that's fine. I think from these questions also, questions pertaining to what we are learning, it's okay to ask in between. There's nothing wrong in it, because that's how everybody understands. It's not something simple we are trying to study. It's very deep. Okay, so number 38. Dandaha damyatam asmi,
Dandaha damyatam asmi,
nitihi asmi jigitshatam,
niti asmi jigitsatam,
maunam cha eva asmi guhanam,
maunam cha eva asmi guhanam,
jnanam jnanavatam aham.
jnanam jnanavatan aham.
Dand means the punishment. Damyatam means of, it's like among the punishers. Danditam, damyatam, among the punishers. Asmi I am. Niti. Niti is a statesmanship, like a proper conduct. Asmi I am jigishtam, among those who seek victory. Maunam, silence. Cha means and, ev means also. Asmi I am, guhanam, among the secrets. Jnanam, the knowledge, wisdom. Jnanavatam, among the knowers of the wisdom, or among the knowers, or like in the wise people. Jnanavatam, aham aham. So among the punishers, I am the punishment. Among those who seek victory, I am statesmanship. Also among secrets, I am silence. And I am the knowledge among the knowers. So the punishment, when meted out in a timely and a just manner, is very important. It's like a very important tool for reforming a sinful behavior in people and training them for the right conduct. So that's what he's talking about, dand. Damyatam asmi. Okay. So the lawgiver must see that he governs by enforcing the laws. If there's no enforcement, there could be laws, but if you don't enforce them, they are no good. Okay. So of all those who punish, the Lord says, I am the punishment. So of conquerors, I am the niti, the statecraft. Mere physical conquest is no victory at all. A conquest of a community can be complete only when the conqueror has thorough awareness of the policies, like a intelligent administrative policies. So that's why he says that niti is a skillfulness, has to be there. And he says, I am that skillfulness. And of the things secret, I am the silence. Secrecy is maintained in and nourished by silence. That's why the very essence of secret lies in silence. Often we just, somebody tells us a secret, then sometimes we just end up telling somebody else, it is a secret, please don't tell anybody. It's not a secret anymore. That's why there is a popular saying, a secret known to one person is a secret. A secret known to two people is no longer a secret. And a secret known to three people is news shouted out to the rest of the world. So Lord Krishna says, among the secret, I am the silence. Okay? So deep, unbroken silence is talking about. So the knowledge of the knowers, I am. So the wisdom of the wise is not the wise themselves. It is that knowledge. Because it's not different from them in any which way. Because self is not the body. Yet we cannot say that the body is anything different from the self, which is all pervading. Because ultimately it's all one. So the knowledge and the knower or the wisdom in the wise is the expression of a glory, divine glory, through the individuals. That's what he's trying to tell us. And this kind of a wisdom purifies, fulfills, satisfies, elevates all of us. It really gives a direction to life. That is the wisdom. The strength to cope with all the adversities in life. And determination to preserve till the end is reached. That is the wisdom. Number 39. Yat cha api sarvabhutanam
Yat cha api sarvabhutanam
bijam tat aham arjuna
bijam tat aham arjuna
na tat asti vina yat sayat
na tat asti vinasyat
sayat
paya
maya bhutam characharam.
maya bhutam characharam.
Yat means which, cha means and, api also, sarva bhutanams, among all beings. Not just the human beings, all beings. Bijam, seed. That means that, aham, I, Arjuna. Na tat, not that, asti is vina, without. Yat means which, sayat, may be. Maya, by me. Bhutam, being. Chara, charam. So the char and achar, moving or unmoving. And whatsoever is the seed of all beings, that also I am Arjuna. So I'm the seed of everything. Without seed, nothing can sprout. So he says, whatsoever is the seed, even though he gave us so many examples, but now he says, whatsoever is the seed of all beings, that also I am. There is no being, whether moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. So now he has completely put everything in there.
There you go.
So I am that which is the seed of all. An analogy of the seed and the tree is an inexhaustible theme in our scriptures. As a meditator also, we can meditate on that. Okay, seed of everything. So nothing can happen without God. The seed condition of the universe is also God. That's why the scriptures say God is both the efficient cause of all creation and also the material cause. Efficient cause means that he is the creator who performs the work involved in manifesting the world. And material cause means that he is the material from which creation happened. So Hindi में भी से करने वाला भी वही, जिससे किया वो भी वही. Both the material cause and the efficient cause. That's why the Hiranyagarbha word comes often in the scriptures. The womb of all things and beings. And who created the Hiranyagarbha? He did, the Ishwar. So he declares that the self is the one great seed from which the tree of sansar has merged out. And will in future also emerge out for an infinite times. Not just one time. This is a cycle. The cycle between, and there's another cycle and another cycle, another cycle, countless cycles. It's going to just keep on going. But where is it coming from? Who's the seed? He says, I am, the goddess. So I am the seed of the universe. None can exist without me. Neither the moving nor the unmoving. So that means that not only that the Lord is the seed of the universe, but even after its germination and growth, something which doesn't move, a tree doesn't move, he says, the seed of the tree I am. And we can move as human beings, the seed of us is also God. So moving as well as unmoving. Number 40. Na antaha asti mam divya naam.
न अन्तः अस्ति मम दिव्यानां
Vibhuti naam param tap.
विभूतीनां परन्तप
Eshatu udeshatah proktah.
एष तु इदेशतः प्रोक्ता
Vibhutah vistarah maya.
विभूतः विस्तरा मया.
Na antah. Na means not, antah means end. Asti is mam, my, divya naam, of divine. Vibhuti naam, glories, the opulences. Param tap, that is Arjun. Because he's talking to Arjun with beautiful names and titles to him. Esh, this, tu means indeed udeshataha. Udeshta means one portion or a brief statement. Proktaha has been stated, vibhute, of glory. Vistaraha, particulars, or the breadth of the topic. Vistaraha, maya, by me. So Lord Krishna is saying there's no end to my divine glories. Because Arjuna wanted the list of the glories. He says there's no end to it. O Paramtap. But this is but a brief statement by me of the particulars of my divine glories. I'm just giving you a few examples and there's no end to my glories. So he's concluding the topic of his opulences with this statement. And he's declaring that there's no end to the rays of my glory. Can we count the rays of a sun? And that's just one small sun.
Can you
Can
please
count the
repeat?
rays? Huh?
Can you please repeat this sentence all over?
There is no end to my divine glories, O Paramtap. But this is but a brief statement by me of the particulars of my divine glories. You got it? So in this chapter so far, the Lord Krishna has given to Arjuna and to the entire generation of the Gita students these examples to meditate upon so that we can fall in love with him. So that's why he says there's no end to the rays of my glory. So that doesn't mean that he has exhausted himself, but he chose to give only few effective examples to educate the mind of his listeners. Just only a handful of the examples so that we can learn how to meditate. And we don't have to use all of these examples to meditate. Any one of these examples will help us to meditate. Number 41. There's 2 more verses left in this chapter. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam.
Yad yad
mat satvam.
Shrimat urjitvam eva va.
Srimad urjitvam eva va.
Tat tat ev avagachatvam.
Tat tad eva avagachata tvam.
Mam tejo ansha sambhavam.
Mam tejo ansha sambhavam.
Yad means whatever. Vibhuti mat, glorious, opulent. Sattvam, being. Shrimat, prosperous. Urjitam, powerful, glorious. Ev means also, va means or. Tat, that means all that. Ev means only, avgach, no, K-N-O-W. Tvam means you, mam means my, tejoshan, tej, ansh, sambhavam. A manifestation of a part of my splendor. Ansh means a part. It's not like a whole God, but just a small part of God has done all this. So whatever that is glorious, prosperous, or powerful in any being, that you know to be a manifestation of a part of my splendor. So that means if you don't like any one of these examples, you can look at something else. And you just think that it's God's power and meditate on that. Whatever suits your personality. Because there are many names, there are many forms. And if the revelation to you is that it's glorious, it's opulent, it's great, it's mighty, then think that it is me, he says. Okay, so the idea is to focus on the divinity. Divinity in this manifested world also. We know how to concentrate on the physicality of this world, but he's asking us to pierce into the divine power which created that manifest world. It could be a sun, it could be a moon, it could be a tree, it could be water, it could be any animal, anything. Just look at that. He says nothing can exist without me. So if you can pierce through that and connect with that, then you are meditating on me. Okay. The last verse of this chapter, number 42. Athva bahunam etena.
Athva bahunam etena.
Kim gyatena tav arjuna.
Kim gyatena tav arjuna.
Vishtbhaya aham idam.
Vishtabhaya aham idam.
Kritsnam ek anshena sthita jagat.
Kritsnam ek anshen stito jagat.
Athva means or, bahuna, by many, like a detailed. Eten, by this. Kim means what? Gyaten, no, K-N-O-W. Tav means of you, Arjun. Vishtbhaya, supporting or pervading. Aham I, idam means this. Tritsanam, entire, all. Ekanshin, by one part, like a fraction. Sthita, exist. Jagata, the world, the creation. But of what avail to you is the knowledge of all these details? Because Arjun wanted more details. He said, what good is that, O Arjun? I exist supporting this whole world by one part of myself. So Lord Krishna's statement indicates that he has already answered the question. Having revealed many amazing aspects of his splendor, he says that the magnitude of his glory cannot be judged even from the sum total of what he has described. Because even if you add everything, he says it's only one small portion of it. Because even this entire manifested world is unlimited. Do we really know where does it end? This universe, we don't. The more you find out, the more we find more. So that's why he says, even if you know everything, still it's only one little portion. It has been created by one little portion of me. Ek ansh, one small part. So it's like with a cry of despair, yet in an attitude of extreme love for his disciple, Lord Krishna summarizes this chapter in this closing verse. So he says it's useless to explain the presence of the infinite in every finite form. Cannot give you all the examples because there are so many. It's never possible for a mathematics teacher to exhaust all the examples. A teacher teaches the student the art of solving the problem through few examples. And with the help of those examples, student can solve any problem. So this is what Lord Krishna is telling Arjun. That I have given you few examples, but remember, I'm in everything. I, with one part of myself, support this whole universe. In Sanskrit, it's called Jagat. Jagat implies much more than the gross term. In Sanskrit, it's like a Jagat. The definition of Jagat is Jagatasi iti Jagata. That which is ever changing is Jagat. This means that the world Jagat is the sum total of the world perceived by my senses, plus the world of my emotions and sentiments, plus the world of my ideas and ideologies. All of this is Jagat. Because sometimes we think Jagat is only just like in nature or the Prakriti, we think only the trees and the ocean is the nature. Nature is anything other than the God. And in God comes Atma also. Anything other than that is all nature. The same way the Jagat word is all comprehensive. The Jagat is the sum total of the world perceived by our senses, plus the world of my emotions, the sentiments, plus the world of our ideas and ideologies. That's all Jagat. So that's why the yogis, they say, that which is ever changing, because all of this keep on changing. What does not change is what? The Atma and the Paramatma. Jagat keeps on changing. So in philosophical uses, the term Jagat means all fields of experiences which a person is capable of as a physical body, as a psychological being, or as an intellectual entity. In a nutshell, that's what it means. Okay? So the term Jagat means all fields or experiences which man is capable of as a physical body, as a psychological being, or as an intellectual entity. Okay? So remember that the Jagat keeps on changing. Jagat cannot change without God. In this Jagat, use any one of these examples to connect with God. That's the whole idea of this chapter. Because Arjuna wanted to know, where can I really see you? He says, try to see me in any one of these. So that's why this chapter particularly tells us that one God is in many. So one in many, the same in all of it. Then in the next chapter, we'll see that Arjuna is crying that I really cannot see you. You say I'm everywhere. Nothing can exist without me. But I really do not see you. Show me. And in the next chapter, we'll see Lord Krishna gives the grace to Arjuna. He says that with your material eyes, you cannot see me even though I'm here. You are seeing only my form. You're not seeing the Atma in me. Let me give you the divine eyes, Divachaksha. Then Arjuna sees that. And that's why the next chapter's title is Vishwaroop Darshan. Vishwaroop Darshan. Try to memorize the titles of these chapters also. So far we have done 10 chapters. So see, by next week, if you can memorize all 10 names, starting from Vishad Yoga, then Sankhya Yoga, then Karam Yoga, right? Dhyan Karam Sannyas Yoga. Remember that? Karam Sannyas Yoga, Atam Sanyam Yoga. All of this, try to memorize. Let me see who can memorize all 10 by next Sunday. I'm sure all of you will do that. Yes, Nana does. Nana has raised her hand. She has memorized all 18. It's very good. Nana, your next homework is memorize all 18 chapters of Mahabharata. Because in Mahabharata also there are 18 chapters. So these 18 chapters are one of the chapter of Mahabharata. So now memorize those. The rest of the class can memorize the 18 chapters, or at least the first 10 chapters. Do that. It's a good exercise for our brain. So now I think it's 11:30, so we can open up for the discussion. But if you are writing it down, just make sure that write down that the whole Jagat is supported by a portion of his glory. The whole Jagat. Whole Jagat. Just remember that. So if we have that in our mind always, it helps us to meditate easily. Okay?
Hershey, can you just repeat that question again, that line again?
The whole Jagat, Jagat means the world, the whole Jagat is supported by a portion of his means the God's, capital H, his own glory. He doesn't have to borrow it from somebody, it's his own. Okay? Because
Hershey, can you repeat the part in between, after the last shalok, all fields of experiences?
The sum total of the world perceived by my senses, that one?
No.
Oh, Jagat means
Next.
all, yeah, Jagat means
ये तो है.
all the fields
Of.
or
Yeah.
experiences
Mm-hmm.
which a man is capable of
Mm-hmm.
as a physical body, as a psychological being, and as an intellectual entity. Right? These are the three different aspects of our personality. Whatever we do with the physical body cannot do it without God. Whatever we think cannot do it without God. That's why he used the word of the punishment. Also, he used the word of the fraudulent gambler also. Cannot do any of the activities without the presence of the God, or as an intellectual entity also. Right now we are trying to study. We are using our higher intellect. That also, without divinity in us, we cannot do it. Okay? So we are using our instruments with the help of the God. But we got to remember, to reach to the higher goal, we got to keep an eye on that goal. By using this, move up. When we slide down also, we are using the godly energy, but we are not paying attention towards the direction of our. Okay, so whether we want to go up or down, we cannot do either one without the divinity in us. So that's a choice God has always given us. You can go up or down. Choice is ours. So freedom he has given us. He doesn't decide for us. Okay, so it's a freedom we have, up to us whether we can just use this body, use these powers to attain Godhood, or go towards the other direction. Any question before we? Today we're going to have a little chanting done by. Do we have those students here? Many.
Gita, yes.
Nita is here. Okay, so Nita will be singing a short bhajan for us. But first, let's see if somebody has any question, any comment.
Hershey,
Urmil,
this is Sonia. One
do you have a
question.
question? No.
Sonia, yes. Sonia has a question, looks like.
What chapter number is Bhagavad Gita in Mahabharata?
I think it's if I'm not correct, incorrect, it's the 6th chapter. I have a feeling.
Sixth.
I have a book over here, little book, the kids' book. It mentions that. Let me just give you that right now. Yeah, sixth Parv. The chapters in Mahabharata, they are called Parv. Okay, so it's in the 6th. Okay.
You told us 9th before. You've told us 9th before.
Well, I must be wrong if I said that, but I think it's a 6th.
All right, I'll
Yeah, it's a part of the 6th Parv. Because it cannot be 9th. The reason for that is Bhagavad Gita in Mahabharata, quite early, it makes the appearance.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a 6th, not 9th.
Maybe I'm reading it wrong. It could be.
Upside down?
Yes, something like that.
Just kidding.
No. I mean, like, because I've made so many notes on the same page.
Yeah. No. It's a 6th. Yes. Now you can just mark it 6th. It's definitely 6th.
Yes.
But next week we'll have all the names of Mahabharata chapters also. I'll have the list for you guys. Okay. All right. So Urmil, you have a question or no? Okay.
Prem, do you have a question?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay.
You're unmuted.
Prem has a question, no?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm just checking
you can
people who
ask
unmute. Yeah.
Yeah, you can have ask questions afterwards too, after the bhajan. But people who want to leave, they can leave the class. But anybody who wants to ask the question, you ask the question. And I'm sure all of you know that we have classes every day these days. That is the something good about this lockdown. We can meet every day if we want to, but only on the screen, right?
See, what chapter are you doing in Saturday class?
Saturday class, we are doing chapter by chapter. So yesterday we finished chapter 4.
Okay.
Gyan Karam Sannyas Yoga. So next week we'll do Karam Sannyas Yoga chapter. So it just goes very fast. You see the summary of the chapter that way. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I would suggest that you do come for that also. And in this class, we just go a little slowly. Normally we do about 7 to 8 verses in 1 hour in this class.
So Saturday class is 10:30 or 11:30?
11:30, because 10:30 we have a Gita for the little children.
Okay, thank you.
Saturday we have 3 classes. The first one starts at 10 o'clock. That's a story time for the very little kids. And it was really nice to see 2 years old and the 5 years old and the 6 years old. They drew beautiful Om, and I was really touched by how much they know. So then we have a class at 10:30 for the 7 and up, and then we have 11:30 to 12:30 for little older kids, for the parents, I should say. And they are kids for us.
Hersh, you may talk about what you saw in that little kids class.
Little kids class, because the previous week I told them to draw Om for me. And they all did, and beautiful Oms. And then I asked them to just hold on to those, and whenever they can come to the ashram, we'll put them on the one of the walls. So you'll get to see how beautifully they wrote Om. So this week I asked them to write the names of gods. Even yesterday I asked them, what is the name of God for you? I mean, even a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, they came up with all the different names. The Ganesh also, Krishna also, Ram also, Shiv also, Radha also, Prabhuji also, they had all these names. So next week I told them to just have as many names on a piece of paper as you can. Another thing I told them, I said, draw, because at this age they like to draw. I said, draw a flute. And one of the little girls, she said, isn't a flute called Bansuri? So she knew the Hindi name of the flute also. So that was pretty touching. I said, yeah, draw the most beautiful flute in vibrant colors. So let's see what they bring this week, next Saturday. So we got to just encourage them. So hopefully some of these kids, they'll have Buddha, Jesus Christ, all those names also. Those are all God's names. I hope they bring that also, because I want these kids to grow up with a wider perspective, not a narrower, that this is God. Sometimes people just fight. No, baby Krishna is the only God, not the older Krishna. But we got to embrace all forms are God. That's what we are learning in Bhagavad Gita. God says, there's no place where I'm not. Everything is God. Okay. So anyway, Neeta, unmute Neeta so that she can for us.
And all others should be muting.
Yeah, everybody else muted, and then after that, unmute everybody, and anybody who wants to leave, they can leave, and we'll have more discussion.
Okay, Mahendrabhai, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Are you going to create the new meeting ID? Because this one expires today.
Don't worry about the meeting ID. Use the same link. We will adjust the dates.
Yeah, we'll extend it. Yes. Thank you, Mahendra Bhai.
Okay.
Thinking it,
Okay.
thinking it in the future also. Yeah. That means you like these classes. Good. In fact, I'm going to start before we go into the. Yesterday, somebody asked, can we have a yoga class for the kids? From next Sunday morning, I'm going to teach yoga to the little kids. So if you want your kids or the to attend a yoga class. Right in this room, I'll show them some postures. We'll start out with 5 postures, and I'm going to see how many kids can come to learn postures from us, okay, the yoga. So please encourage them. So we'll add that also on the list today. I mean, you guys can come too, but mainly these asanas will be for little kids.
Little children.
But you can come and see how you can teach others also. Okay. All right. Let's start with the bhajan now.
भजन करो मित्र मिला श्रम नर्तन का, भजन करो मित्र मिला श्रम नर्तन का, श्वास की सुमिरनी है मन को बना मन का, भजन करो मित्र मिला श्रम नर्तन का, सांस की सुमिरनी है मन को बना मन का, मन को बना मन का, पंच मेले बंगले में तू है निवासी, पंच मेले बंगले का तू है निवासी, पंच ज्ञान पंच कर्म इंद्रिया है दासी, काया है कीमती मगर है विनाशी, काया है कीमती मगर है विनाशी, कर ले राम बंदगी ये जिंदगी जरा सी, कर ले राम बंदगी ये जिंदगी जरा सी, बार बार मिलता नहीं अवसर भजन का, बार बार मिलता नहीं अवसर भजन का, श्वास की सुमिरनी है मन को बना मन का, श्वास की सुमिरनी है मन को बना मन का, मन को बना मन का, राम रूप जगत जान कर ले आराधना, राम रूप जगत जान कर ले आराधना, प्रभु दिखे सब में तो होवे अपराधना, प्रभु दिखे सब में तो होवे अपराधना, वासना से मुक्ति मिले ऐसी कर साधना, वासना से मुक्ति मिले ऐसी कर साधना, दुख रहे दूर यदि सुख की हो साधना, दुख रहे दूर यदि सुख की हो साधना, बार बार मिलता नहीं अवसर भजन का, बार बार मिलता नहीं अवसर भजन का, श्वास की सुमिरनी है मन को बना मन का, मन को बना मन का, मन को बना मन का.
Thank you, Neeta. Beautiful. Beautiful.